How was the party last night? Did you get drunk? I'll be honest, okay? So, it was probably what you'd expect. I didn't get blind drunk, right? But probably had more than my fair share, if you know what I mean. I've been there before. Feeling it today, yeah? Yes. G'day guys, today we're going to be talking about discourse markers in spoken English. These are words and phrases that are used to organize, to structure what you're saying when speaking English. So the ones I want to talk about today are things like right, okay, if you know what I mean, and these are used in spoken English to verify if someone is following you, right? If they understand what you're talking about. It could also be if they agree with you on a topic. And also, quite often it's used when teaching, whether it's English or something else, or informing someone about something. And again, checking to see if they are with you, right? If they understand, they're following you. All right, so let's go through number one here. To understand or agree with someone. This is where we can use right, and yeah. Okay? And okay as well. So for example here, bees are one of the world's most important insects, right? Bees are one of the most important insects in the world, right? Bees are the world's most important insect, So I'm using there to check if you understand it. Do you realize that? Do you agree with that? The population of Australia is now 25 million people, right? The population of Australia is now 25 million people, right? Correct? All right, right? I'm checking to see if you understand. I just used it there, right? You know how much I love chocolate, yeah? She knows how much I love chocolate, yeah? Again, I'm using there to check if you understand that she knows how much I love chocolate. She knows how much I love chocolate. Yeah? Part two, you can use and right to also check with someone if something is correct. So I might say something like, people have lived in Australia for more than 60,000 years, right? Is that correct? People have lived in Australia for more than 60,000 years. Is that correct? But the shorter way of saying that is just saying, right? Male platypus are venomous, yeah? Male platypus are venomous. They are, watch out for them. Don't just pick them up if you see them in the wild. Male platypus are venomous, yeah? Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. We just use yeah. So you can use and right to check with someone if what you're saying is correct, or at least if they agree with what you're saying being correct. Part number three, now we can use okay as well, similar to right, yeah. And this is often used when instructing someone or teaching. And it's used to see if they're following you, if they understand. You're sort of checking their eyes to see if they get it. Okay, see, there's an example. I'm going to go to the shops. Okay, we can use okay to check if something is all right, and we can also use it when informing someone about something or maybe instructing or teaching someone something. Okay, is that all right? So for example, if I want to go to the shops, I might say to my wife, I'm going to go to the shops, okay? And I'm using okay to see that that's all right with her, if she agrees that that is okay, if she agrees that I can do that, if I have her permission. I'm going to go to the shops, okay? She might say, no, you can't go. You've got to take care of the kid because I'm going to go out in a few minutes, right? So it's not okay. But generally, it's going to be a situation where someone is just being polite, is showing that they're sort of asking for permission for something that they want to do anyway. I'm going to go out, okay? All right? Is that okay? Is that all right? I'm going to go out, okay? Another one might be, for instance, if you're a teacher and you're going to instruct someone about something. Today we're going to be talking about marsupials from Australia, okay? Again, it's sort of rhetorical. You're not asking for the student's permission, like, is it okay that we talk about this subject? But you want to see that they follow you, I guess. You're instructing them, you're informing them about the topic of the day. You want to see that they follow. Maybe you want to see that they're excited, they're interested. So you might say to them, today we're going to be talking about Australia's marsupials, okay? Right? Okay, right, you know? Now let's talk about you know. This can be used in a few different ways. So we can use it to verify that someone understands what we're saying or that they agree with us. Australia is an incredibly big island, you know? So you want to see, do they know that? Do they agree with you, you know? But we can also use this in phrases if we want to give ourselves more time to think. And I think this is where you're going to hear it more often than not in spoken English. People are going to say, you know, when they're giving you information or they're saying something to you and they want more time to think. And I think too, they're saying, you know, to try and show you that to try and verify that you understand what the person is trying to say even before they've said it, right? Whilst they're trying to create those sentences in their head. So, you know, so take the phrase, the population of Australia is more than 25 million people. If I was spontaneously saying that phrase, it wasn't planned like it is at the moment, I might be thinking of the phrase, so the population of Australia is, and then when I have to think about the number, I might say, you know, and then the number. So I might say, the population of Australia is, 25 million people. So I'm giving myself time to think. Now, the interesting thing here is you can put you know anywhere in these sentences to give yourself time to think. So you could say the population of Australia, you know, is 25 million people. The population of Australia is 25 million, people. The population, of Australia is 25 million people. So you can insert it anywhere there that you need time to think. And again, this is spontaneous spoken English. It's not where you're reading something out word for word. It is where you need time to think about the sentences that you're creating on the spot, spontaneously, and that's why you're using you know. It's kind of like or are, but also that you're trying to get the person to show that they understand what you're talking about, that they agree with you, that they're following what you're saying, you know? Now, the last little bit here that I want to talk about is the phrase, if you know what I mean. And this can be contracted down to, you know what I mean, and then even further to, you know. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, and you know, okay? And this is used to check if someone understands you, but it's usually used to see if they understand what you're trying to subtly refer to, what you're trying to say without explicitly saying it. Quite often with topics that are taboo or that are difficult to talk about, or maybe you just don't want to explicitly say the thing that you're trying to refer to. So for example, if you're trying to suggest that someone is an alcoholic, right? A drunk, they drink a lot of alcohol, they're addicted to drinking alcohol, they are an alcoholic, but you don't want to say, that guy's an alcoholic. Instead, you might say, that guy likes a drink, if you know what I mean. So you're trying to suggest he's an alcoholic, but you don't want to come out and say that explicitly, so you'll say, that guy likes a drink, if you know what I mean. So again, you're trying to show that you're suggesting something, right? And again, you could contract this down. That guy likes a drink, you know what I mean? That guy likes a drink, know what I mean? Or that guy likes a drink, you know? Another example might be that you know someone who is a woman and she doesn't like men, if you know what I mean, right? So she's a lesbian. So you don't want to come out and just say, that woman's a lesbian. Instead, you might say, she's not a fan of men, if you know what I mean. So she doesn't like men, know what I mean? She doesn't date men, you know? So you can use, you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, in order to subtly check with someone that they understand that you're trying to say something without explicitly saying it, okay? Anyway, I hope you've got a bunch out of this episode, guys. I hope it's helping you with your spoken English so you can sound more natural, like a native English speaker, and obviously understand us as well in spoken English, as we use fillers all the time, right? All the time, you know what I mean? It's a big part of learning English, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.